All right, good evening. My name is Ebere Johnson. I'll be guiding us on application softwares, and we'll be doing graphic design today, which is CorelDRAW. Okay, please, I will please want us to get writing pad as I'll be explaining some things to us, and we are starting immediately. Okay, the meeting we had last, I think day before yesterday, 3 days back, I showed us where we can download softwares, any kind of software, and I believe I talked about one website called getintopc.com, where you can download any software of your choice, any software at all you want. Like I talked about CorelDRAW the last time. If you want to download CorelDRAW, all you just need to do is to locate this software, this website, and type CorelDRAW, and you press go, and you can see different type of CorelDRAW you want. Once you see the version of CorelDRAW you want, you click on it and it opens. The next thing you need to do is to just download it. Like I said, I told us something the last time, that before you can download any software from here, make sure you check the requirements, what the software requires. There is some system requirement the software requires, so make sure your own system meets up with the system requirement. And once you download it, you go to your download and you can find anything you download there. Okay, now we are starting proper. Today we are talking about CorelDRAW. Is an application used for graphic design. If one may ask, what is CorelDRAW? CorelDRAW is an application used for graphic design. Yes, it's an application used for graphic design, and apart from that, there are so many other things you can do with CorelDRAW. Okay, there are so many other things you can do with CorelDRAW. So we are starting immediately. Of course, you can locate your CorelDRAW application from your startup menu bar by clicking on this place, and you just type CorelDRAW. Okay, and once the something opens, of course you can see it here, and once you click on it, it opens. Okay, now once you open your CorelDRAW, you see the interface like this. Okay, what you are seeing here are previous. It shows the last 10 to 12 previous jobs you've done using this system, and that is what you're seeing here. But we are diving in to this new document. Okay, what you're seeing here, I'll just click on new document. Okay, now what we have here is create a new document. Now there is a template already designed. Okay, we have it already. We have different kinds of sizes. We have different kinds of sizes, okay, of paper. Of course, you know what is A4 paper. A4 paper is just the normal paper you can use to print or photocopy or do any other thing you can think of. Okay, and paper have different sizes. Okay, and there is what they call, the higher the figure, the lesser the paper. Okay, when you talk about A4 and you talk about A3, you discover that 4 is more than 3, but it happens to be that A4 is a normal A4 paper, okay, and A3, okay, A3 is times 2 of A4 paper. So the higher the figure, the lesser the size. Okay, that is what I mean. The higher the figure, the lesser the size. A3 is bigger than A4, and A2 is bigger than A3. So as time goes on, I'll be explaining this to us. So to just show you this interface, okay, if you are new, just what you need to do, you don't need to dwell more, you don't need to waste much time here. Just click on OK, okay, and it will bring you to this interface. Now I want to tell us what we'll be achieving at the end of this very class today. Okay, we'll be able to, I'll be telling us the active bars. Okay, just like your phone. Okay, just like your phone, there's what they call menu in your phone. Through that menu, you can see where we have settings, you can see where we have camera, you can see where we have calculator, and so many other. So it's the same thing we'll be experiencing here in this corridor, because without the active bar, without the active bars, okay, without the active bars in this corridor, the corridor itself will not be complete. Okay, because they need each other to work. Now one may ask, why is this screen dark while mine is white? Of course, I'll be showing us all these things, but let me bring it back the way it was normal. Okay, let me just bring the screen back the way it was before. Then as time goes on, I will show us on how to customize our page. This, what I'm doing here now, is what we can actually do. Okay, what you can actually do if we want to customize our corridor. Later we'll be doing all this as time goes on. Of course, this is how you'll be seeing your corridor. Okay, this is how you'll be seeing your corridor. Fine and good. The first thing we'll be doing today is, like I've told us before, corridor is an application used for graphic design. Okay, yes, this is the corridor. Now you agree with me that there are active bars. Okay, bar are the things that make up the corridor. Without these things you are seeing, the corridor itself will not work very well. And looking through your own computer system, you discover that it is only one color palette you are seeing at the right hand side of the corridor interface. Now one may ask question, what is this down one doing? All these things are what will be showing us as time goes on. Okay, now to start with, like I said, we should get a writing pad, because we'll be jotting down something since this is the first time. But practically, what we are doing here full is practical. Okay, and once I just introduce us to the active bars, the next thing is to dive into designs. Okay, we are starting the design proper. All right, please, while we are having this class, if you have any comments, if you have any question while we are having this class, don't hesitate to drop it at the comment section there, because I'm seeing your comments. I'll be seeing your comments as time goes on. I'll be seeing your comment, and I'll be answering them while we are doing our class. Okay, so please, you are welcome to this channel once again. You are welcome to this channel once again. And the first thing we are doing today is active bars, because we need to know them. Active bars in corridor, just a little, we are just jotting down just minor things, and from there we'll dive into the matter of the day. Active bars in corridor. Okay, the first ones, I'll just list them out, then after which I'll be explaining anyone I'm explaining. I'll be showing you. Okay, I'll be showing you as time goes on. So the first one we have, the first active bar we have is the title bar. Okay, second one we have is the menu bar. Just like I said, before you can begin to learn any application, is always good you have a fundamental background. That is, you know, the foundation of the application. What I mean by that is, you should be able to explain what the application is all about. You should be able to defend it any day, anytime you are being asked. Okay, and that is the reason why I'm explaining to us the active bars, because as time goes on, this bar are things we'll be using to make up our designs. Without one, you may not actually get what you want. So I need to explain to us what this, I need to explain to us, list out the bars to us, then secondly, explain these bars one after another, so that we know their functions, because as time goes on, we may not be coming back to this bar again. Okay, we may not be coming back to it again, and we'll just continue where we stop. Okay, now the second one we have is the menu bar. The third one we have is the standard bar. I will explain, please. We have the standard bar. The fourth one we have is the property bar. The fifth one we have is The fifth one we have is the ruler bar. Yes, we have the ruler bar. We have the ruler bar. Sorry, we have the ruler bar. Sixth one we have is the toolbox. We have the toolbox. Seventh one we have is the status bar. All right. Next is the tax bar. Okay. Next is the scrolling bar. We have the color bar, and last we have the Windows bar. Okay, last we have the Windows bar. Okay, let me just explain this one after another. Okay, the first one we have is the title bar. Okay, and we are doing CorelDRAW today. If you look at, you discover that look up where my mouse is, this mouse pointer, look up where this mouse pointer is. Okay, now you see that we discover that we have what we call CorelDRAW untitled. Now what this is showing here is once you open any application, be it Word document, okay, be it Word document, okay, once you open any application, the first thing you see is usually the title bar. Okay, the first thing you see is usually the title bar. Like this is Microsoft Word. Okay, the first thing you see, look at where this red thing is. We are seeing document. Document, then dash Word. Okay, of course this is Microsoft Word, right? So it's the same thing we are having here. That is title bar. Any application you open, the first thing you see in that application is the title of that application, which is Word, Microsoft Word. We are seeing it here. So the same way we are having that of CorelDRAW. Okay, and I will explain why we are saying this. Document 1-Word is the application name itself is Word, but the file name. What I mean by file name is what they use, what they are using, what we use in knowing what Word does is that it is a document. Everything about Word is everything that has to do with document. Okay, all right. Now in this very CorelDRAW, okay, it is called graphics. Okay, it is called graphics, and the reason why you are seeing it as CorelDRAW-Untitled 1 means it has not been named. I have not named it, I have not saved this before. So you're still seeing it as untitled. Okay, you're still seeing it as untitled yet. But once I save it, you discover that it will give you, it will bring the name out and give you the what the CorelDRAW itself is all about, which is graphics. Okay, while in PowerPoint it is called presentation and Excel is called spreadsheet, like that. So the first thing you see in every application is title bar. Okay, so the next one will go is the menu bar. Menu bar is where we are having this file, edit. Okay, where we are having this file, edit, view, layout, object, and all that and others. Okay, now the next one we have is the standard bar. Standard bar is, of course, now we can remove this. Let me unlock this bar. Look what I did, something here. Now I right click. Okay, I right click here and you see where they say lock tool bar. Okay, I clicked on this lock toolbar. All right, I click on this lock toolbar. Now I talked about the title bar. We have done title bar already. Okay, now I'm talking about the menu bar now. This is the menu bar here. Okay, where we have this file, edit, view, and so on. Okay, Now the next one we are having now is the standard bar. Okay, and I can remove this. The next one is the standard bar. Look at the standard bar here. Okay, there is nothing to use to. I need to remove it so that you can see it. This is standard bar. Okay, it comes after menu bar. Of course, menu bar is the one that has file, edit and co. Okay, and the next one we have is the property bar. Now I'll pushing back this standard bar. I'm showing us this because sometimes you discover that you open your CorelDRAW and you discover that some of your bars are missing. So in that situation now, what do? What you need to do is to actually rearrange it the way it's supposed to be. Okay, that is what you're doing here. What you're supposed to do is just to rearrange it the way it's supposed to be. Okay, now I'll push in back this standard bar. Okay, now the next one is property bar. I'll drag this property bar back down so you can see it. Property bar, as time goes on, we'll be explaining all these things. Okay, and the next one is the ruler bar, which is what you're seeing here. Look at the ruler bar here, the width and the height. Okay, we are seeing it here. As time goes on, we are using it. This you're seeing here is the ruler bar. The next one is the toolbox, which is this. Okay, this is the toolbox. Sometimes you just open your CorelDRAW and discover that these things are missing. Where can you get them? All this is what I'll be showing you as time goes on, because all these are found, either you right click from here, you see all of them here. Okay, the one that is checked, okay, the one that is marked are the ones we are seeing active. All these ones too have their own functions. Okay, they have their own functions. Now you can see more. Okay, you can still see more, right? There are many more bars that you can find in CorelDRAW. So I can just push this back. All right, the next one we have is the status bar. Look at the status bar under here. Okay, where we have this alternative dash click. It's just that anywhere your mouse is pointing at times, sometimes you draw a rectangle. Okay, it displays that you have drawn a rectangle on layer 1. This is layer 1. This is page 1, layer 1. We've not opened another layer. So what status bar does is that it gives you an update of what you're actually doing at the time. Okay, using your system, doing this graphic design. Okay, anything you are doing, if you draw the rectangle, if you reduce it, it gives you the size. Okay, before you drop it, you see it scaling, giving you the scale size of what you've done. Okay, and this toolbox, please let me come back to this toolbox. This toolbox is the in fact, how do I call it? This is the reason why we are here in this CorelDRAW. Okay, because once we are able to explain all these two, okay, which I know it will not take us more than 6 class. Once you can explain all these two, you agree with me that you are good to go with graphic design. And as you are seeing this, all these things you are seeing in this toolbox, as you are seeing it like this, this is everything you can do using CorelDRAW. Every design you can do using CorelDRAW to achieve. This is it here. So this is where we pay more attention. This toolbox is where we pay more attention while I start, because I'll be taking them one after another, one after another, one after another, like that. Once I finish it, the next thing is to begin to get 1 or 2 designs. Then we'll be using what we've learned from this to achieve them one after another. Okay, so please, let's just pay good attention. And if you have any question to ask, please drop in your question, because I'm still waiting to hear from us. Okay, so the next one we have is the tax bar. Tax bar is what it does here now is any application you open, be it Microsoft Word or be it any other application, you discover that this particular bar that has some application application icons showing like that you're seeing here, is just to tell you that you can actually launch in another application while you are still working on the one you're working with. Okay, so it's still active. Okay, tax bar is still active in almost all the applications. Okay, they are active in almost all the applications. And the last one we have is the next one we have is scrolling bar. This is scrolling bar. Okay, you can scroll up, you can scroll down, you can scroll sideways. Okay, as you are seeing it here. Okay, as time goes on, we can we'll still talk more about that. And your mouse you are using, if you are using external mouse, we have left click and right click. At the middle, in between the left and right click, you discover that there is something like a scrolling bar. So you can scroll down and scroll up. So it does the same work this scrolling bar will do for you. Okay, if you don't actually want to use your left click and be clicking on your mouse left click, you can use that of your mouse, the center ball, okay, in between the left and right click to achieve this. Okay, the next one we have is the color bar, and this is the color bar. This is the color bar. All right, this is the color bar. And as time goes on, I'll be explaining to us different colors we have. Okay, we have two types of colors, CMYK and RGB. I'll be telling us what CMYK stands for, what RGB stands for, when you have to use RGB and when you have to use CMYK. All these are what we'll be doing. And if you can follow this class, you agree with me that in less than 6 classes we'll be doing, okay, you perfect yourself in terms of design. Okay, and you know, everything in life has rules and regulations. What I mean by that is, as time goes on, we'll be doing, I'll be explaining things to us. Sometimes you see some graphic designer, they will be doing their design and they will end up writing someone name with red. Okay, that is, somebody will just write, someone will end up writing let's say somebody will write someone's name like Paul is good. Okay, now the person may want to apply color to this. Okay, now this person, of course, he or she knows that you can play around with any color of your choice here. Okay, you just want to play around with colors, and you end up giving this good, let's assume royal blue, giving this one cyan blue, that is sky blue. All right, then coming to this Paul now, he choose to give the Paul red. Okay, now graphic design has rules and regulations. Okay, in as much as someone is still existing in life, someone is still alive, okay, someone is still breathing, someone is still alive, and he asks you to do design for him or her, you don't give the person's name red, because what red shows in graphic design is that, let's assume you are writing someone's name in red, it means the person is no more. Okay, but most graphic designers don't know. Okay, most graphic designers don't know this. The same thing applies to when graphic designers are doing design and they end up mixing colors that is not just okay. You can imagine somebody using this royal blue now, applying royal blue to this color, this color of pink, and they call it a design. No, it's not. So as time goes on, we'll be learning all these things here. Okay, now let's continue. The last one we have, of course, this is the color bar. Of course, I've shown us. The last one we have is the window bar. The window bar is this. Look at it here, where we have this on title. I told us before now, you can close this window where you are seeing this white. You know, before it was dark. Before I decided I like using dark interface to do my graphics. Okay, but I have to bring it back to white for you to understand very well. So you can, this window is very is active too, because you can close your workable area. They call it workable area, or you call it your interface. All these bars comes with the CorelDRAW by default, but this very white place you are seeing, let me try to highlight it. This very white place you are seeing is okay. Here is okay like this. This very white place you are seeing here, all this place you are seeing, I can close it and open another new one, a fresh new one. Okay, and you are seeing it as on title 1, because while I was explaining this title bar, I told us the reason why you are seeing it as CorelDRAW dash on title dash 1 is because I have not named this file. I've not gone to file to say save. Okay, but once I save it, automatically if I give it any name, this on title dash 1 will change to the name I've given it. Okay, that is one good thing about it. But we are talking about Windows bar. Windows bar is just the workable area. Okay, this very white space you are seeing. Let's assume what I'm doing now is not what I'm supposed to do. The next thing I need to do is to close this area, and it will ask me a question. Do you want, would you like to close this very windows? And once I say no, automatically everything about this place close, and the corridor itself remains. All these interfaces remain. But before I will say no to this, I believe we have been able to jot down all these things. I'm here to see our comments at the comment section. If you have any comments, please do well to ask your question. If you are not getting anything clear, do well to ask your question, please, if you have any question to ask. Okay, so the next one we are doing now is we are going to lock this bar back, because if you don't lock this your active bars, sometimes you come and discover that this toolbox has now turned to, is now somewhere here. You see it like this, and you'll be asking yourself how. But the good thing about it is anytime you don't find it, you can't find any active bar. That is why I have to write them down for you to jot it down. After this, the next thing is just for us to start our practical proper. If you can't find any active bar, just come to this place, right click. Okay, what comes down is called a pop down menu. A pop down menu. This is pop down. You know, when I right click here, there's something, it came from up till down, so that is why it's called pop down menu. But once I come here to right click, it's from up, it's from down to up, so it's pop up menu. Okay, pop up menu. And while I'm about closing this Windows bar, like here, okay, something appear, okay, asking me a question. Save changes to untitled -1. What is this thing that appeared? It is called a dialog box. A dialog box. You know, if you and someone is having misunderstanding, and somebody end up coming between you both, the person is trying to do what? To actually reconcile you both. So now this thing is asking you, you are about to close this. Yes, I'm aware that you're about to close this. Do you want to save it? Yes or no? Because any action you take here now is, you are responsible for your action. Okay, you not blame the computer at the end of the day. All right, so that is what it means. And I'll be giving us some shortcuts, because once you start this corridor online class, is good. One good thing they use in knowing a good graphic artist too is shortcuts. What I mean by shortcuts is this: you should be able to use keys. Okay, because someone can be by your side but not knowing what you're doing. The person can be standing very, very close to you, but he will just see you using keys, okay, to operate, instead of using mouse to show the person. Let's assume I want to pick a box now. I'm supposed to just press a functional key to pick that box. Okay, if I want to pick a text, I don't need to go use my mouse then pick the text. I can just press function F8 and it picks the text. That is one good thing that makes you a professional graphic designer. So as time goes on, while you are advancing in our class, I'll be teaching us shortcuts too. Okay, so once I close this dialog box now, okay, now what appears is dialog box. Okay, so it's asking you, do you want to save? Now we have yes, we have no, and we have cancel. Now yes is one word that has up to 3 characters. Okay, YES. Now under the YES, if you look very well, you discover that there is one underlying character there, which is Y. For no is NO. There is one underlying character there, which is no. So if you don't really want someone close to you, or you don't just want to, you want to minimize the way you use your mouse, you can just be using your short keys. Okay, now under yes, which character is underlined is Y. You just press Y. If you want to save, just press Y. It takes you where you can save. And if you don't want to save, you press, if you close it, you press no. And like I told you, once you press no, your interface, that is why Windows bar is active, this your working interface will just close. Okay, once I say press no, if I strike N key in my keyboard, it closed only the interface. You see, just the interface closed, and the active bar still remain. So if I want to open new bar, a new document, I can go through file, click on new, okay, and it opens. It brings you back here and it will open, okay, and you start afresh. Now the next thing we are doing now is I want to lock this active bars, so I will not be experiencing maybe one bar missing on a very good day. What I need to do is to right click here, okay, just click on lock toolbars and it will lock. Now that you've locked the toolbar, you cannot bring out any active bar again. You can't drag it out. But I only unlock it to show us these bars that are listed. Okay, now we are now starting. Like I said before, now if we end up, this toolbox is the reason why we are here. Once we end up mastering this toolbox, you agree with me that design is in fact, you are good to do design, and they are very, 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 very simple, and each of them has a black arrow key, and they have other things. Okay, so this is how we'll be treating it. Like I said, we started this class around 8 o'clock, and once it's 9 or at most 9:30, we'll stop for the day. Okay, but I'll try as much as I can to do my best. Okay, but while we are having this class, please, if you have any question at all you have, feel free to ask. Okay, feel free to ask your question, because it will help us a long way, so that if you are not getting anything, I can be able to explain it back to you, right? Okay, now the first thing we have now is pick tool. Okay, pick tool is just like the mother of all other tool here. Anything you pick from here, any toolbox you pick here, is required for you to return it back to, just like this first one gave birth to the second one till the last one. Okay, you have picked a circle, okay, and you've drawn the circle now, but the circle is still following your mouse. What you are supposed to do is to return back the circle to the owner. Like I said, the pick tool is just like the mother of every other tool you are seeing here. Okay, so anything you pick, it's just as if you learned something from someone, and after using it, you have to return back to that person. So what we are doing here now is, if you pick anything from here, you have to return it to the mother, or you have to return it to the owner of the item. Just press. If I pick any other tool, like if I pick text and click on it, after writing what I want to write, you discover that the text is still following me. Okay, what I need to do is to return it to the pick tool. Okay, now another shortcut to return, like I said, I'll be showing us both the long cuts and the shortcuts. And like I said, the one thing they use in knowing a good graphic artist is shortcuts. Okay, so you have to master your shortkeys. Okay, you have to master your shortkeys. So if I pick any toolbox from here now, how do I return it? Only what I need to do is to press down your control key, then still hold the control key and tap the space bar. It will return it. Okay, and if you want to pick this previous thing you've picked before, you don't need to use your mouse and go there and pick it again. Just press back, hold down the control key again, and press the space bar. It picks it again. Okay, you can draw and return, pick it again, draw and return. So you can see I'm pressing down the control, I'm pressing space, it has returned, it has picked, it has returned, it has picked, it has returned, it has picked. Are you seeing? So that is the shortcut. Okay, and another shortcut again you know, or you should know, is once you point, don't click yet, allow it to give you the meaning of what you want to do, and now in bracket it will give you the shortcut of that key. This is polygon tool. If I want to pick the polygon tool next time, I don't need to use my mouse to pick it. I will just press my Y. Just strike your Y key from your keyboard and it picks that immediately, just the way I strike my function F8 key on keyboard and it picked my text. Okay, you see it, text is function F8. Anything you see in bracket is a shortcut. Okay, so like that. So what pick 2 does is anything you pick from the second to the last one, you have to return it. Okay, so that is it. And same thing you are seeing, because there is a black arrow, okay, beside every of these two boxes you're seeing. So they does the same work here. Okay, the freehand and free transform, they are just the same. Okay, all right, they does the same work. All right, so anything you pick at all, just return it to this pick 2. Okay, now that is one. If I am you, all right, if I am you, like we are talking about pick 2, okay, I'll just write pick 2. Okay, I'll write pick 2, okay, underline it, and everything I'll be teaching us under pick 2, I'll be jotting them down because of tomorrow. Okay, because sometimes you may forget what we've done, and this book will refer you back to what we've done, and you should be able to do one or two things. You should be able to remember what we've done. Okay, if you are starting another one, which is the shape tool, you just write shape tool, and everything will be teaching under shape tool. Just be jotting them down, and before you know, you are good to go. Because once you start your personal practice, those things you've jotted down will really help you a long way to go. So the next thing we are doing here now is shape tool. Okay, shape tool is where we can edit a curve object or text character by manipulating nodes. Okay, manipulating nodes. So what it means is you can edit a curve object. Of course, you know this is an object. This is an object. This is an object. Okay, there are plenty of them like that. Okay, star is an object. Okay, but text, this is a text, not an object. Okay, because you use it in writing, not an object. Okay, and be it object or be it text, there is usually something that is rounding it, and that is where, because why they are explaining what shape tool is all about, they ended by saying manipulating nodes. So they said we can edit a curve object or text character. You know, this is text character, this is text character already. This is, all these are objects. So they are saying we can edit a curve. Okay, we can edit a curve object or text character by manipulating nodes. Automatically, what it's telling you now is that you can actually use this node. There is this black thing. There are usually 8 rounding either an object or a text. Either an object or a text. So what it means now is this is a node. Okay, this black thing you're seeing, okay, every either shape or text comes with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you see it is black in color. It is called node. But since it's more than one, it's called nodes. Take note. What you are seeing here, okay, the 8 black rectangle rounding either shape or a text is called nodes. If it is physically that we are doing this class, at the end of the day, I end up setting an exam, and you should be able to I'll ask a question like this: when you draw an object or a text, what are those black things? What is the name of those black things surrounding it, and what is their what work do they do for you? Okay, now they are called nodes. Okay, yes, the black ones are called nodes, and as time goes on, you see it to change to white, and I will tell you the name of the white one too as time goes on. Okay, so what it means now, I've drawn this my rectangle. Let's pick, since they said you can edit a curve object, let's pick this. Okay, we know I said there's a black arrow under it. It means there are other items. Okay, all these are what will be treated one after another. Okay, once I click on shape, okay, now you discover that 8 nodes disappeared. The only thing you are seeing is four black box. Okay, 4 black box, it means it is ready to, because what the English says here is you can manipulate. That is, you can change it from what it is to a different thing entirely. So now, once I click one side and drag, watch what happens. From rectangle is turning it to rounded rectangle. That is the manipulating. That is the manipulating this they are trying to explain to us. Okay, and if I want to bring it back the way it was before, don't panic. We have title bar. After title bar, we have menu bar. Like I told us, menu bar is where we have file, edit, view, and others. So you point your edit. Okay, you see where they say undo. That is undo edit, and the shortcut there is Ctrl+Z. Okay, so I can just strike this Ctrl+Z in my keyboard, Ctrl+Z, it will bring it the way it was before. Now let's assume I only want one side to curve and this 1, 2, 3 side to remain the way it is. What do? You know, when I picked this my shape tool, all right, I did not click on one. I just click and hold and drag at once. But in a situation whereby I want just one side to be curved, either this side or this side, what I need to do is once I go there, I'll click on it. If I click on it, you notice that the remaining 3 has turned to white. It's only the one I clicked is now black in color. So what I need to do is I'll drag it. Okay, so let me Ctrl+Z it. In a situation whereby I want this side, this area, I want this area, okay, and this area to be curved, and this area and this area to remain straight the way it is. What do? Once I click on it, remember this 1, 2, 3 is white. What I need to do is I will hold my shift. You know, in your keyboard you see control, that is CTRL. The next one above it is shift. Once you press your shift, you can now multi-select more than one item. As time goes on, I'll be explaining to us more of what shift can do and what control can do. Shift is selecting more than one item. Selecting more than one item. Okay, let me practicalize it here. We have this node. We have these nodes here. I have this circle. I have this. If I want to select all these things at once, then move them at once, I will just click one and press down my shift key by holding it. Then I will press this, press this, press this, press this, press this. Then I will leave my shift key. Then anywhere I'm dragging this to, all of them they will now be following me. Okay, that is the work of shift. So in the situation whereby I want to curve this area and this area, only what I need to do is to pick my shape tool, press the first one, then hold shift, then press this second one. Okay, then I can drag it. You see the two have curved. Okay, the two have curved. Like if I want 3 to curve and 1 to remain, once I press 1, I will now hold my shift key and select the rest. Then this one I'm not selecting it. I'll drag. This 3 will go. This one remains. So sometimes you see a call out. You see a call out where somebody will just do something like this. Okay, and somebody can type something here like a cartoon. Okay, of course this is where you can achieve all those things, right? So the next one we have under it is this smooth. Okay, let's see what smooth does. Okay, I'll press and hold and then pick my smooth. Let's see. Watch. It only smooths the edge. Once I point the edge, I'll press it and drag it down. This is just what the smooth does. Press it and drag it down. Press it and drag it down. And nothing much. Nothing much. Nothing much. Okay. And if you notice that the circle of the smooth is as in very big, of course, that is the work of this very property bar. Property bar can help you to manage any tool you pick from here. If this is too big and you don't want it to be too big, you locate your property bar. You know, is after title bar we have the menu bar, then we have the standard bar, then before we have the property bar. And one good thing about this property bar is any tool you pick from this shape tool, automatically it changes, it gives you the full function of that tool. If I pick a text, watch what happens here. You see, all here has turned to everything that has to do with text, where you can bold, where you can utilize, where you can underline, where you can increase font size, where you can change font style. But if I return it again and pick shape, everything about it here will be about shape. While I was doing this, using this shape tool to curve either this side or this side, you can actually do it here. We have one side, two sides, this side and this side is here and here, while this other side is these two sides. Okay, if anything I enter, okay, any figure I enter, let's assume I enter 30, okay, and press enter, all will curve at the same time. Reason because in between this and this, watch what we have. This, there is a key that says edit corners. Edit corners what? You have to edit it together. In a situation where you don't want it to be edited together, what you need to do is, before you can apply, unlock, okay, unlock this very key. And if I want only here to curve and only here to curve, okay, I'll just maintain what I want to do. You see, it was only this side and this side that curved because it was only here and here I applied it. So that is the work of property. Property is anything you pick from your toolbox, automatically it changes here for you. Right now, the smooth, there is no much there in it. Now this smell, let's see what this one does. I will just, sometimes you see some drawings that is jagged like this, scattered like this, okay, the way you're seeing it, you see, okay, and after I can give it color, okay, I can give it color, right, and I can draw another one, okay, still pick this smell tool, okay. It's just for you to like play around this, and it will interest you to know that these things you are seeing us doing here is just like a joke, but it will interest you to know that it will really help us a long way in our design we are doing, because we'll be using it as time goes on. We'll be using it very, 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 very well, okay, as time goes on. Okay, we'll be using this very, very well as time goes on. Yes, there are more to this that you're seeing, okay. And the next one we have is what? Twill. Now watch what this thing does. I can just press one side and hold it. Don't leave. Just press one side and hold. It will begin to turn. Don't leave. Just press one side and hold. It will begin to turn. Don't leave. Okay, like that, like that. Okay. Now if you wish to increase the size, now look at your property bar. You can increase the size. This is 1.5. I can make it to be 4 and press enter. Okay, you see it very big now. I can just hold one side. Okay, what you're seeing can be part of design for you. Okay, can be a design that you end up giving a color here. Then this one now will now be inside. Now I will still give it yellow, but this time around I will hold down my control key, then be applying a little of green. Do you see what is happening? Sometimes you see some background that has something like this. You'll be asking, how did they come about? How did they get this? How do we come about this? So all this thing we are doing now is just to prepare your mind on what you'll be doing as time goes on. Okay, so I can decide to draw a star inside here, then use this my tool to just change the style on different thing entirely. I can still give it this color. Just, you get, just formulate your background one way or the other. Okay, as time goes on, this thing you are seeing, we are using it to do something wonderful. Okay, and the next one and the last one we have, okay, The next one is the attract and repel. Just what it does is just similar thing to the twill, but his own is in a different form. Okay, it's just scattering a particular object or a shape the way it was to a different thing entirely. And have it in mind, these things we are doing can actually go a long way to give a unique design as time goes on. Okay, because this is how we create our designs. All right, so the next one we have is smudge. Now watch what this thing does. Now it is very tiny. It's very tiny because I did not increase it. Okay, let me increase. This is 0.05. I can make it to 2 and press enter. Let's see, this is 2. So let's see what we can achieve with this. Watch what this thing is doing. Okay, can just use it to, can just, his own is just to distort, that is to scatter a particular shape to a different thing entirely. Okay, it's just to scatter a particular shape to a different thing entirely, and that is what you are seeing us doing here. Okay, that's what you're seeing us doing here. And the next to it is roughing brush. Okay, the next to it is roughing brush. So let's see what this roughing brush can do. All right, let's see what roughing brush can do. I draw this and I pick my roughing brush. I can increase it. Okay, I can come here and increase it to, let's say, 2 again. Let's see what roughing brush can do. All right, once I look at what roughing brush is doing, okay, making an edge to be sharp, making an edge to be sharp. And it will interest you to know that all these things you are seeing is part of what we are using to do our designs. Okay, let me use this roughing brush, okay, to do something very simple. You know the way our normal house key is. What I'm doing now, don't worry. Okay, we'll come to it. This, let me just draw a key. Okay, just very fast, something like this. And okay, don't mind. Okay, don't just mind what I'm doing now, because I know we'll soon come to it. Okay, we have this. Okay, let's, okay, don't worry what I'm doing, I just want to show something. Okay, this key now, I can decide to make the teeth of this very area. I can decide to make it to have teeth. Okay, and if you are following this class and you are practicing what you are doing, you discover that you can just remember that we once did this roughing brush class. So what I need to do is I will reduce the size. Okay, this is 2.0. I can make it let's say 0.5. Yeah, I can make it 0.5. What I need to do is, of course, you press what you want to, then I can now begin to remember. You know, our key, normal key we use is something like this. Okay, normal key we use is something like this. So sometimes somebody will ask, how can I achieve having a key format just very quickly? How can I do this? So sometimes there are so many things you can do, okay, with all these tools. What we are just doing is just we are learning this tool, okay, and after we finish learning this tool, then we can now be using it to do some designs. I think that is all for this. Okay, the next one we'll be doing is crop. Crop is anything crop. That is anything crop. What I mean by it, anything crop. You can decide to drag in this image here. Okay, let's work with this image. Okay, and the first one we have is the crop. Now, once you pick this crop, which is the first one, because one thing about this corridor is before you just point it and see the use, it's called crop tool. Remove the areas outside the selection. Okay, this is a selected area, but I'm trying to remove one particular side of it. Okay, once I pick this crop tool, I can decide to cut out only here, just the flower, and I'll just press enter. You see what happens? It only cut out that particular area. So that is crop. So anything to cut out a particular area, that is what this crop is all about. Okay, you can have a picture and you just need the face, not the full body. Once the picture is being inserted and this is just where the face is, what you need to do is locate where your crop is and just cut out where you want, and either you double click or you press enter and it will just crop out that particular area for you. Now the next one we have is knife. Okay, knife is used to cut. Of course, you cannot cut this. Okay, you see what happens here? Now let me use a normal rectangle or circle, anyone. Now this, let's come back to this knife. Of course, knife is used to cut. Knife is used to cut. Okay, knife is used to cut. You see what happens now? I can just cut this very rectangle. I can pick this knife. Now I can start from here, drag it. You have to drag it. Okay, once you get to where you want to cut it, leave it and return your knife and separate. Sorry, you separate it. Okay, I've already given a color already. You drag. Okay, right? You see, I've separated this from this. So that what knife does is just to cut out, divide something or cut out a particular place. Everything about this is all about cropping, or let's say cutting. So that, like I did here, once you just drag and start where you want to cut it from, start it from there and drop it where you want to cut it and leave it, then return. Okay, like I told us, the shortcut of return is you press the control key and strike your space bar, it has returned. So once you separate it, okay, as soon as you separate it, it will separate. Okay, that is the work of cutting. Okay, as you can see it here. Okay, and the next one we have, what we are doing, we have to master the tools we want to use in designing. So if you don't follow what you are doing here, you may not actually learn the design once we start. So it's always good you master what I'm doing now at your own time. You practice it. Any question, anything you don't understand, if you ask me, I will answer you. Okay, this is just to prepare us. Because what we are using to do design is everything about this toolbox. Once you master this toolbox, once a design is being given to you, the next thing you need to do is to brainstorm on which tool do I need to use to achieve what I'm doing. Okay, to achieve what I've been given to do. All right, so the next thing we have is virtual segment delete. Just like you striking delete on your keyboard, that's all. If I press this, automatically to just delete. Virtual segment delete. All right, let me draw a rectangle. Okay, fine. So this is what, this is an object already. This is an object. Okay, and I draw a circle, I draw a rectangle. Okay, only what this one does is just as if you striking delete on your keyboard. Watch. Okay, the same thing as this, like that, and that is just the work of that one. Then the next thing we have is eraser. Okay, the next thing we have is eraser. Eraser is to clean, but let me apply color and so that you can understand it very well. Let me apply color. If I pick this eraser, watch what this one does. You know, you can increase the size from here. This is 0.2. If I can make it 1, okay, and press enter, look at what eraser does. You can clean from the inside. Now watch what happens. Any color you give, here is already empty. Here, inside here is empty. You're saying, watch, is empty. I can decide to draw another and give it different color. Send it behind. Okay, if I send it behind this now, you see that there is empty. You get, there is already empty. And if I decide to pick the eraser again and clean this side, you discover that here is empty. Okay, if I pick the eraser again and clean this side, you discover that here is empty. All right, so that is the eraser. All right, so that is just what everything about crop. Okay, that's what they do. And the next one we have is zoom. Zoom is just like what you have on your mouse. Okay, the ball in between your left and your right mouse. Okay, you can scroll up, you can scroll down, you can scroll up, you can scroll down. While we inserted this, okay, if I want to increase this value, you know, you can use your mouse to just, once you point your mouse, increase there and it will increase, right? But you can use this, your zoom, which is Z, the shortcut is Z, and just zoom in where you want and it will come up just like that. And the shortcut is just Z. Just press Z wherever you are, just press Z, it comes, and just drag where you want it to be zoomed and it will zoom. All right, now the next and the last one we have, this is where I will stop because I'm trying to see if I can come to this freehand. So I can give us assignment, like I told us that every class we'll be doing comes with assignments. Okay, and with the assignment, it shows that we are getting what we are asked to do, right? So this is freehand. It's a very simple, what I'm doing here will not take us 5 minutes. Then I will not give us assignment for the day. Okay, this is freehand. All right, freehand is all about anything drawing. If you want a straight drawing, just click. Once you click, leave every other, both the mouse, leave the mouse and drag where you want the line to be. If you want a perfect straight line, you hold shift. You see, shift will give you a perfect straight line. Once you get to where you want to stop the drawing, you press back the left key again and it stops. Okay, like that. Once you start, once you set your line, don't click, don't drag, just leave it. Take it to where the length, excuse me, take it to the length you want to draw it, then hold down your shift key, then you press that, that is, press it back. It's just as if you pick an object and you get to your destination and drop the object, something like that. Okay, but in a situation whereby you don't want a straight line, that is when you hold down your left key, hold down your left mouse key, then begin to draw. Okay, you can draw anything, then after you leave it. Of course, this is not a straight line again. Okay, this is not a straight line, and it will interest you to know that this line is what we can use to create a logo, is what we can use to trace a logo, is what we can use to, in fact, to do so many things. And this is why I want us to rush this very freehand, because we'll be having some things doing here. Okay, now if I don't need a straight drawing, I'll just join. Okay, of course, you know I started like this. Okay, but make sure anything you are drawing, you are ending it where you started it, so you can color it. All right, fine. But in a situation whereby you want a straight line, once you click, okay, once you click, don't click any other thing. If you drop it, go back to where you drop it, click it again, drop it, go back to that place you drop it, click it again, drop it. Of course, Go back to where you drop it, click it again, then drop it. What I'm doing in essence is, because if, let's assume this thing is joined like this, I will end up giving it color. But when you do only, if you do only 3 sides, here, okay, and here, you don't expect it to be colored because you've not completed it, except you complete it, okay, unless you complete it before the color you applied will now show. You get? I'm heading somewhere. That is why I'm doing this class. I'm heading somewhere. Okay, let's just follow up. That is for freehand. Okay, the next one we have is 2-point line. Let's see what 2-point line does. Okay, you just drag. That is just drag. This one now is not like freehand that you can draw. If you drag, okay, you continue where you stop, but make sure you are connecting them. Look at this white thing. Look at this white thing. Make sure after dropping, pick that white thing again and be connecting so that it can join. Why I'm showing us this thing is what you'll be doing. You now decide on which tool you need to use. Okay. The next one we have is the Bezier tool. Watch what Bezier tool. Bezier tool is an invisible line that is following you wherever you're going. Invisible. It's following you. Okay, and after you can give it a color. And I prefer using Bezier tool whenever I'm doing my tracing. If I want to trace a logo, I prefer using Bezier tool. Okay, and that is what I'm trying to make us achieve here today. So once I pick, just be clicking. Make sure you end up joining it where you started. Okay, of course, you know this Bezier tool is more good than freehand, because freehand you have to even though you miss out, you have to come back and begin to look for where this white dot box is, then before you can complete it, right? But in Bezier tool, you don't just need, it's just following you invisibly. Okay, once you drop it and you can apply your color, right? So the next one we have is the pen tool. Pen tool is, the line will be physically following you. You know, Bezier tool is invisible, it's following you, but you're not seeing it. But that of pen tool is physically, you'll be seeing the line physically following you, but it's just like Bezier tool as well, but the line is following you. So why I'm showing us this is for us to know which one to apply, or which tool to use once we are being faced with any design. The next one we have is the B-spline. This B-spline, watch, B-spline will only give you a curve. The line is following you, okay? The line will not stop following you, but is any point you click, it gives you a curve, all right? That is the B-spline, all right? You see? That is the B-spline for you. And the next one we have is polyline. Let's see what the polyline does. The polyline, okay, will still be following you. The polyline is just like the pen, okay, but this time around, if you are drawing a pen, let me give you the difference again. If you are drawing a pen, okay, you are seeing all these nodes. Of course, you know what is nodes now. That's 8 box, black box following you. That is nodes, okay. If you are drawing with pen, the nodes is just appearing with the nodes will just be showing you. The nodes will be following you, okay. You are seeing the nodes as the case may be now, right? But in the situation of in the case of the polyline, you are not seeing any node. Nothing is following you, but is there, okay. All these I want us to practice it after this class, okay. And the last one we have is the 3-point curve. This is the 3-point curve. You have to click and drag, then leave it. Click and drag, then leave it. That's all. This is what everything about freehand is all about. Now, this is where we are stopping today, and the assignment I'll be giving us today is what I want us to do. Okay. Now, back to, let me go to Google. I have something for us. Let's try something. Let me just say logos, okay? Now we have these logos. Let's choose one logo and let's try to trace something. let's try to trace logo. Let's try to do one or two things using what we've achieved. Okay, what we have been able to learn is a very simple one, and I want you, what I want to do now, once I finish it, I want you to do yours and send. Okay, I want you to do yours and send, so we can continue. Okay, let me go for this. Let me go for this. Yes, let me go for this, and I save this. I'll save it to my system. Right, I'll save it. Yes, to be in download. Let me go back to my download. Okay, I have what I've saved here. Let me see if I can equally see something else to trace here. Okay, let's pick this hand. Let me copy them, paste it here. Okay, we have logos. We have logos that I want us to trace. Okay, now remember, this is how many? These are about 2, 4, 6, 7 logos, and I just want us to pick out just this apple. What do we need to do? If I really need this apple, just the apple, what I need to do is to pick my crop tool, just select just the area where the apple is, and press enter. Hope you remember. Okay, now this one here, now we are coming to understand or see the essence or the reason why we are doing all this class. Okay, they are not just for formality, because they will really help us a long way. I want us to trace this apple after we give it our own color. How do we do it? Now the question you ask yourself, out of these 3 lines, which one will be suitable for me? Which one do I use? Which one will be okay for me? Okay, that is what you ask yourself. Now, before we start tracing, before we start doing this tracing, I want us to do, when you draw a rectangle is still lock. It's still lock in the sense that if you pick your shape tool, the highest thing the rectangle, this thing will do for you is just to curve the edge, and that is all. Because what comes with the rectangle are 8 nodes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But in a situation whereby you use freehand, okay, to achieve anything, automatically you are seeing a node, not just a node. It comes with, you are still seeing the 8 node: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but something is added to it. What is that thing? Look at this area. You are seeing one white thing. Okay, look at this area. You are also seeing white box. Look at this area. You are also seeing, that is the foredge of this shape. Now you are seeing a white box. But in the case of this, you are seeing, okay, fine. In the case of rectangle too, you are seeing the white box. Okay, you are seeing the white box when you draw it at first. Once you draw it, but once you return it to your pick tool, what you are seeing, okay, you are seeing the white box, all right, but the highest thing you can do once you pick your shape tool is just this. But now that we have used freehand to draw, okay, if I pick my shape tool, now that black box has disappeared. What we are seeing now is a white box. What is this white box? Now this is what I really want us to do very quickly. We have white box. Rounding any shape is called rounding any shape. Any shape or text is called anchor points. Okay, please, I want us to jot this thing down. Very, very important. Okay, white black box, right? White black box is called nodes. Please, I want us to take this into cognizance, because as time goes on, this is what we'll be using to do. You can use this thing I'm showing you to do any kind of logo in this world, any type of logo. You can even sketch out logo on your own and bring it here and perfect it, give it a very good color, and you'll be surprised seeing what you end up doing with this. Just these few things we've done now. Now, this box you are seeing, anything you draw, be it a text or object, like this is a text. Okay, we have a font. Font, how many nodes are you seeing? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just the way we have it on a rectangle. Okay, now the white one, once I pick my shape, shape 2 is what you can use to manipulate any shape or object, right? Shape, object, or a font, right? Now, once you pick your shape 2 for the freehand, you discover that the box, the 4 edges has turned to white. This white means any shape or a text that has white after you click you picked your shape 2 is trying to tell you that it has been unlocked, meaning it's just like you finish building your house but you don't have the key to enter the house. You get? So what anchor point does for you is that anchor point unlock house. That is, anchor point gives you a key. I mean, it gives you an access to enter the house you built. But if it is still black, you know, this is a rectangle I draw. So if I pick my shape 2, you are not seeing the anchor, you are not seeing it on white because it is still locked. Meaning the highest thing it can do is just to turn your rectangle to rounded rectangle, and this is all. That is all it can do. It can't do more than this. Okay, it can't do more than this. But anything you have drawn with shaped with freehand, automatically it has been unlocked for you because you have already opened, you have given it access to manipulate. That is the reason why they told us that the shape 2 is used to manipulate either a shape or a text. Okay, you can see it, edit a curve object or text or a text character by manipulating it with nodes. Okay, using nodes. Now if I pick this shape 2 now, watch what happens. Since I'm having these white boxes now, automatically we know the white box is called anchor point. Now I can manipulate it. The shape comes like this before. I can do like this, I can do like this, I can do like this. Okay, to add to it, any point you want to change the what it was before to a different thing, just double click on it, double click on it, double click on it, keep double clicking, keep double clicking, keep double clicking, keep double clicking, and after everything, just begin to do anything you want to do. Anything, you can scatter it anyhow you want, anyhow you want. Do you know why? Because I told us that anchor point gives you an access to manipulate. That is the reason why when you picked this shape 2, it's telling you that I can manipulate any object or a text. You can manipulate the nodes. Okay, you can see it. That is what I'm doing here. But in the situation of me drawing a rectangle or drawing a shape without unlocking it, now the question is, how do you unlock? How can I unlock this shape? It could be a circle, it could be a star, all right? It could be any shape at all. But the question is, how can I unlock it? How can I unlock for me to have this kind of access of the freehand? Okay, what you need to do is, once you draw your rectangle, okay, you have to do what? Convert to curve. That is what we called convert to curve. Let me write it. Convert to curve. All right. Convert to curve. The shortcut is Control plus what? Q. Okay. The convert to curve, the shortcut is Control Q. Okay. Now this is what convert to curve will do for you. Convert to curve will now unlock these nodes. Okay. It will unlock this node to become an anchor point so that you can access it just the way you have accessed that of freehand. So once you Control Q, if you can't remember the Control Q, the next step on how to convert a shape to curve is check your property bar. Look at your property bar here. Look at where my mouse is. Check the second to the last item we have there. It is called convert to curve, in bracket Control plus Q. Now let's read out. It said it allows the object to be modified by using the shape tool. Okay, so modify means you can modify, that is, you can change something from what it's just an English, just the way we have this manipulate. You can modify it, that you can advance it from what it is to a different thing entirely. Okay, so once I come here, if you cannot remember the control Q, you can just come to your property bar and click on what, convert to curve. But remember, I told us that one thing they use in knowing a good graphic artist is shortcuts. Okay, because shortcuts will save your time. Okay, and you get what you want. Now once I click on that convert and I pick my shape tool, now if you notice, before that it was rectangle, before I converted it was just black. Highest thing it can do is just to make rectangle to be around the rectangle, and that's all. But once you convert, what you can do now is you can add anchor point, add anchor point, add anchor point, add anchor point, like that, and before you know, you are good to go. Okay, you are just good to go. Now this brings us to what we are doing today. Now I will only do one and two and we end it. Like I promised us, I want us to end at most 1 hour 30 minutes. That is why I'm bringing these two. Okay, let me just cut out where I need in this hand so that I will not waste much of our time. Okay, now I'm using freehand, okay, to achieve this, and I'll use rectangle to achieve this. Of course, once I'm using freehand, I don't need to convert to curve, because automatically once you are using freehand, you have already converted to curve already. Now let me use freehand, and based on what you have done for freehand, 2 points, Bezier, pen, which one is more preferable? Which one do I prefer to use to actually get what I want? I prefer using Bezier, like I said. So I will zoom this place. I want us to trace this. How can we get it? What you just do is be setting your anchor points where we have these curves, because this is where the work starts. So once I can start here, don't mind, just be clicking. Just be clicking. Anywhere we have curve, just click, don't worry. Watch what I'm doing. Just be clicking. Okay? Don't worry. Just be clicking. Just be clicking, don't worry. And then we are going. Okay? Anywhere we have curve, I'll just click. Anywhere we have curve, I'll just click. Anywhere we have curve, I'll just click. Now I'm through. The next thing I need to do is to now perfect and now modify or now manipulate this thing. That is, make sure it gives us exactly this hand. All right, now what I need to do is to pick my shape tool. Freehand works with shape tool, and rectangle still work with shape tool. Rectangle will work with shape tool if you convert to curve. That is, if you unlock the rectangle to make it to be editable. So you can now use your what? Shape tool to manipulate, just as we have the guide there. So once I pick my shape tool, watch what I will do. I'll zoom it very well. I'm using this my scroll zoom with my using my mouse. You can drag, okay? You can adjust it the way you want before you can do anything you wish to do. Okay, I can drag it like this, no problem. What I need to do is, now you know, every click we are doing is right click, is left click, sorry. Every click we are doing is left click. But this time around, I need a command. I need something, okay, to have this curve. I need this curve. All right, like if I do a rectangle like this, if I convert to curve, okay, if I pick my shape tool, if I right click, once it shows you something like S, look at this mouse pointer, turn it to an S. Okay, once I right click, it will give you an option. A pop down menu will show where it will ask you, what would you like to do? You want to break the text apart? If I say yes, if I double click, the text will be open, it will break. But this time around, I don't want to break the text apart either. I want to curve it. You see where they say to curve. Okay, I can curve it, I can curve it, I can curve it, I can curve it. Now in this situation, one good thing about this curve is it comes with a two arrow. That is a two arrow where you can, if you don't want to curve from center direct, you can curve like this. You see it, and you can, okay, each of them comes with two arrow. Okay, you can curve like this, you can curve like this, you can double click. If you double click another one, it will come with a two arrow again. So from here to here have its own, from here to here have its own. Okay, you see this 1 2 have its own curve, and this 1 2 have its own curve. So that is what we are doing here, and before you know, we have achieved this and very quickly, because we have just 4 minutes more to go. So I'll just drag. Okay, I'll just drag, right click here. Okay, make sure if you don't right click on the arrow, you will not see, it will not be visible, nothing will be visible. You have to point, make sure you point at the arrow, make sure this S something is showing at the mouse. Okay, before you can now curve, right? Like that, I'll set it, I'll right click, I'll curve, I'll just drag it, like that, right click, curve, I'll drag it. Okay, I've dragged it now, but here is not complete. What do? I'll click on this very anchor point, then use this and complete it. Very simple. Do you get? So what I'm doing now is, the reason why I was trying to meet up, of course we are not supposed to spend more than 1 hour 13, but we are just starting. So subsequently, what we'll be doing now will not actually be as hard as what we are seeing now. Okay, so like that, I'll right click. Okay, I'll just right click, and here comes right click. Okay, right, I'll right click, like that, we are going. I can drag this out and now position it very well, then right click. Okay, right click. Remember what I did in that first one. Okay, here is not complete. Okay, this area is not complete. I'll just click on this place, its own arrow will appear. I'll use it to drag. You can do it, you can just play around it, and before you know, you've gotten this hand. So what we are doing is called tracing. Okay, in graphics, it's called tracing in graphics. Before you can begin to think outside the box, what I mean by thinking outside the box is, before you can begin to be creative, you must have replicate 1 or 2 designs that other people that have been into this design have done. While you are doing the design, is giving you an insight on how to come about, or on how to begin to be creative on your own. Now, next thing we need to do now is, I want to show us something here. Okay, now we are done. Next thing I need to do is to remove this. Now we've gotten this hand. Of course, we can color it, right? Okay, but the question now is professionally, you see that this hand is not as good as how I want it, because all those places that I curved, they are showing. Look at it here, they are showing. Look at this, let me show you very well. See here, you see that this very point is showing that the curve is not sharp. Here too is showing that the curve is not sharp, same as this place. Okay, so I have to remove it first for us to see. See here, you see here, like that. So what I'm supposed to do is, I'll Ctrl Z to bring it back where it was before. Now it was here before, and you see I did not even complete this. I have to double click back and then use this one and complete what I wanted to complete. Right now, the next thing I need to do is, in between, now here is where we have it sharp. Right now, you have to set an anchor point. What I mean by set an anchor point is, when you convert to curve by pressing Ctrl Q, you can double click, you can add this thing as many as you can. What is this thing called? It is called anchor point. You can add as many anchor points as you want. Okay, you can add as many anchor points as you want. Okay, so it will now enable you to manipulate, okay, or distort it, or change it the way you really want it to be. Right, so that is exactly what we are doing here. Now, since I know that we have finished tracing, but it's not as sharp as what I want, the next thing I need to do is to set an anchor point. That means add another anchor point. Double click here, it has been added, you see it. Double click here, it has been added, you see it. Then this place now that is not sharp, that is showing that this was where we curved it from, just double click it. Watch what this one, you have this and this. Watch how these two will help you to smoothen this very one, just double click it. You see what happens. So this is what you'll be doing to all. I'll just double click here, set an anchor point here, set an anchor point here, then double click here. How do you see it? So same thing happen here, set an anchor point here, set an anchor point here, then double click here. Okay, set an anchor point here, set an anchor point here, then double click here. You get? So this is what I'll be doing to all those points, except the one that is good to go, just let it be. Okay, else you have to do this to all. Okay, so that once you remove it, right, it will not give you, once you remove it, it will not give you headache, right? It will not give you headache. Now it will interest you to know that these are common things you can do if you follow this my online tutorial class. Okay, we are just starting. Okay, we shouldn't be discouraged, or we shouldn't be asking, is this what the graphic is all about? Yes, this is how you start, because if you don't know the fundamental aspect of the graphics, there's no how you perfect your own design, or make yourself to be good in terms of design. Like this hand now, the highest thing you and I can do here is just to give any color. But it will interest you to know that you can actually make this hand exactly the way this is. All right. What I need to do, we've not gotten to this eyedropper, but let me just show us something. I color it, right? Next thing I need to do is I will apply a shadow to it. This is just for me, okay, so that we can save time, right? And this shadow, because I'll give the shadow the way I want it. Okay, I'll give the shadow the way I want it. Like I said, it's not for you, it's for me. I'm just trying to make things, I'm trying to make us understand that we can achieve, in fact, we can do so many things, okay, with this. Now the question now you ask yourself is, all these light things, how do you come about it? That is where you can come here. Okay, pick your, which one do you think, if you are drawing the line, it's following you. Let's assume it's busier. I'll just be tracing this. I'm just doing this one very fast because of time. Okay, if not, I will do what I will do. Some of us will be surprised here. Okay, the way it is here now, I'll bring it here. Okay, make sure I pick this color. Like I said, this one is just for me. Okay, this is just for me. The next thing, don't mind what I'm doing, is just for me. We'll soon come to this, right? We'll soon come to this. The next thing I need to do is just to blur. All right, I'll just blur it. I'll blur it. I hope we are seeing what is happening here. This is design made very easy. And some you just be surprised, asking yourself, how come about? You see that white reflective light as if it's glowing. Okay, so I'll do the same thing here as time goes on. Okay, this is what we'll be achieving only if you follow my class, okay, and practice everything I'll be showing us here. We have a very long way to go. I'll set it where it's supposed to be, then apply the same color. Okay, next thing I need to do is to do what, and still convert it. Okay, then still blur it like that. We have so many things to do. So before you know, you discover that this hand, okay, will be exactly the way this very hand is. And how do we achieve it? It's just CorelDRAW. And CorelDRAW can draw a complete car for you. Okay, I mean a complete car for you. Make it to be 3D and you'll be shocked. So I'll bring this the way it is here. Of course, pick the color. We are coming to this, like I said, this is just for me. Okay, this to tell you that there's nothing CorelDRAW can. All what I'm doing here is what we'll be doing as time goes on. Okay, I'll be showing us this. As time goes on. Now, this is my design. This particular one is my design. Is it far from what we have here? No. And I can as well change this color to a different color. Okay, and of course I will still redo this. Okay, I will still redo this and give it its own color. You get? So this is to tell you that everything is possible. with this corridor, you can do a whole lot. You can do a whole lot. So we use freehand, okay, we use Bezier, right, to achieve this. So let's now use rectangle to achieve this, and I will call it a day, so we can rest for the day and then practice the one we've done, right? So let's use rectangle. Like I say, if you are using anything freehand here, you don't need to convert to curve again. Converting to curve means to open a locked door, or to just to have an access to manipulate things, okay, manipulate what something is to a different thing entirely. So let's use rectangle. This is a rectangle. Do you know that this rectangle can achieve this apple for you? Someone will ask a question, how comes this small rectangle you're seeing can achieve this? It's a very simple thing. And mind you, this apple has two shapes. The first one is this one up, and the second one is this one down, which you can duplicate this into two and get what you want. So how do you do about it? First thing you need to do is to do what? You can duplicate by pressing Ctrl C and Ctrl V. This is two boxes now, right? Or you can just left click and drag and right click. It will duplicate. Okay? Or you press your what? You press your Ctrl D. So these are the three ways you can duplicate. Either you press Ctrl D, or you left click, hold your left click and drag, and still hold the left click and right click on top. It duplicates. And the last one is just for you to Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste, and it becomes two. You get? So let's continue. The next thing I need to do is just to convert. Once you are picking a rectangle, just convert to curve, which is your Ctrl Q, which is here. You see it at the property bar here. Second to the last item we have there. Just convert to curve. Okay, once you convert to curve, just drag this in here. Drag it here and zoom. Of course, I can duplicate for this very shape. What you need to do is pick your shape tool. You see the power of this shape tool? You see the power of this shape tool? Just pick your shape tool and set your anchor point here. Right? Set another one here. And design is finished. You are done. How comes? You can add anchor points. You can add, you can remove like that, right? The way you are adding is the way you can remove. You added by double clicking, and you remove by double clicking as well. Do you understand? So what I need to do is I will right click here, say what? To curve. I will now drag it back. Make sure before you curve, make sure this S is showing. Look at my mouse. If the S is not showing, you are not doing it, it can't give you a command you want. Or if you are not pointing at the line directly before clicking, it will not actually give you what you want. So you have to point at the line very well, then before you can right click. Okay, you now say convert to curve. Once you convert to curve, then you drag it. Like I said, any anchor point comes with its own what? It comes with two arrows. So you can drag this one here, drag this one here to meet up with this, right? Okay, now this one, same thing, double click and just drag this one at the center. Okay, or just double click and do exactly what you did in the first one, then just drag it back. Okay, now once you drag it back, click on either here or here. Like I told you, it comes with its own two arrows. Then adjust it. Now you have gotten the head of the apple. What you did here, you have converted to curve. This small box you are seeing can achieve this apple for you. Just what you need to do is pick your shape tool. Of course, shape tool is the first one, not any of this, just first one. And shape tool is just function 10. Then you can now drag. Just begin to set your anchor points. And the idea of this is anywhere you see a curve, like there's a curve between here and here, which entered inside. If I am you, set anchor point here, set anchor point at the middle, and set anchor point at the last. There's a curve from here to here and ended here before the one of here. Set anchor point here and set anchor point here, so that this and this can give you this. It's just common sense. Then we have a curve like this. Set an anchor point here. Set an anchor point here. and this 2 1 can give you this. We have a curve like this, set an anchor point here, set an anchor point here, it gives you this, like that, like that. Just watch the way I will do this now. What I need to do, I'll just place this here, just place this here. Don't mind, you can still add anchor points as many as you can. Place this here, place this here. So let's begin to set anchor points. I want you to watch very, very well. What the system I'll use in setting my anchor points here will give you a guide on how you can do your own as time goes on. So I'll just double click, set my anchor points here, because I know from here to here I can get this curve. Do you get? Do you understand? You see what is happening? And from here to here I can get this curve. That is, from here to here I can get this curve. Now from here to here I can get this curve. From here to here I can get this curve. From here to here I can get this curve. You get? Like that, like that. I can bring this one, because from here to here I can get this curve. From here to here I can get this curve. From here to here I can get this curve, right? From here to this place I can get this curve. From here to this place I can get this curve. From here to this place I can get this curve. From here to this place I can get this curve. Like that, like that. We are rounding up already. Sorry for I've exceeded our time, because I'm not supposed to exceed more than 1 hour 30 minutes, but it's because I'm just trying to leave us with 1 or 2 things we need to do. Okay, because I'll be expecting to see your own tracing. Just get any tracing at all. Okay, then we dive in. You see, I have set all my anchor points. Just the next thing I need to do is to begin to curve. All right, click, curve. All right, click, curve. Very quick. Okay. All right, click and curve. 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 Okay, you see how smooth this something is going. Like, if not that I'm setting it in a way that curving it will not be a stress for me, of course you discover it will be a very stressful something for me, and it will not be that good. Okay, all right, click and curve. All right, click and curve. All right, click and curve. I think we are rounding up already. Yes, we are rounding up already. Of course, remember what I told us, that once you finish your curving, the next thing you just need to do is to begin to do what? Once you finish your curving, the next thing you need to do is just you begin to adjust your anchor point. You remember? Okay. Here you have it. We are through. Okay. Now, once you drag this out now, you discover that, okay, this and this, of course, I hold shift. Once you drag it out now, you discover that it has given us our apple. This is tracing. This was the one we got from the internet. Okay. And this is the one we got from the internet, and this is the one we did. All right. And this is, we can just give it different color. Okay. And that is all for today's class. And please, I want you to get as many logos as you can, anywhere at all, and try to use this toolbox that we've explained today. In summary, we did pick tool today, shape tool, everything about shape tool. Like I said, all of them has their own black arrow by the side that has other functions. And we did crop, we did zoom tool, and we did freehand, and last but not the least, That is the freehand. That is where we stopped. And I want you to do one or two logos and send to me via my YouTube channel, because what I'll be doing, let me see if there's a way I can be able to upload this class for the benefit of those that did not join, maybe because of their engagements for the day. Let me see if it is something I can do. Then I'll post it. But I would like any of, if you have any comments or if you have anything to say or to ask, please, it will be done inside my YouTube channel so that I can be responding to you from there, because I want the class to be an interactive one. Okay, so let's have it like that. And thank you very much for staying put up to this time, and see you in my next class. Take care of yourself and bye for now. I remain Ebere Johnson, and I will be guiding you on how to perfect your knowledge in terms of graphics design. Thank you very much and have a blessed night rest. And bye for now.